Gen 1, Gen 2 Muranos, if you start having problems with the alternator burning out, not lasting very long, battery light and brake light flickering and coming on constantly on your vehicle, but yet it still runs, the battery takes charge. While it's under load, it charges. When you let off the gas, come to a stop or anything like that, the lights come back on and it says the battery isn't charging. Nobody can find out what it is, figure out what it is. I've had it to 2 different shops. It's got the 3.5V6 in it. I figured it was either a computer problem or a main ground wire. I noticed there was a few other things going on, like when you hit your brakes, the fuse box and relay box was making a loud clicking noise, so that was the first sign to me that I had a ground or wiring issue somewhere. The shop couldn't figure out what it was. They kept saying that I need to put a whole new wiring harness in or put a third alternator in, which I just had one put in 2 weeks ago. In a matter of a day, it started running and showing that it wasn't charging my battery again. I took my battery box out, my battery out, post, cables, fuse link box, relay box, so I could start accessing all my grounds, my frame grounds, and tracing my wiring. Nissan's bullshit of an excuse ground, that instead of it mounting to the motor or the block of the motor, they've got a bracket right here where the motor and the transmission and everything mounts up, and those are the main grounds. As you can see, this one traces up to your negative post for your battery. Then you got the ground and the positive for your starter. That is all tied in to the same wiring harness. Well, the ground here, even though it's corroded, it's still nice, firm, intact. I'll probably take it off, clean it up, get the rust off. But this wire here, it's got a plug, a little connector on the end of it. I'm gonna pop it off in a minute. I got to looking with one little touch. See where it's grounded to the frame. All it is a ground strap. I touched it with one finger and it fell completely off. There is the problem. Corrosion, it's exposed. There's nothing in the wheel well that's covering water from hitting it over time. This is why I have had alternator issues and battery issues and electronic issues in my vehicle. It should be a couple of dollar fix, even if it is a dealer item. If you have problems like that, I suggest pulling it out, save yourself some money, because in these Muranos you got to pull the damn radiator, fans, hoses off, take the AC compressor off the mounting bracket and all, just to get the alternator out. That's why I paid somebody to do it the second time. He was fair on the price, 200 bucks. You can't beat it. Everybody else was wanting 5. But if you're having electrical issues, windshield wipers kicking on, you come out, some days the vehicle turns over, some days it don't, like there's no power, no juice, no clicking, no nothing at all, you definitely got a ground issue. You put an alternator in, keep having alternator problems, your battery and alternator's testing out fine, I suggest you pull your battery tray and the bracket and everything out of the way and start tracing these wires right here. The ones from your starter to your battery to your fuse box and to this fuse link right here. But my problems seem to be a main ground on the frame. So I'm gonna replace this as soon as I can find one. I'll probably go ahead and put another battery back in. I might test the old one first and put it in. If it starts working, hell, I'll run it, because it's due for one. But hell, I think it said it was 13 years old and it was still charging. So, but, and if it ain't that one, another ground to check would be this one right here, up under the front headlights on the body. That one's good on mine. I checked all the wires, they're wrapped, everything's intact. So instead of spending $1,000 on a mechanic shop wanting to put a wiring harness in it and checking and guessing, it would have never fixed the damn problem to begin with. And all it was that simple little ground strap.